Hello guys, today I'm coming to you with my bare face, and the reason for that is today I'm going to be filming my foundation routine. So y'all should know I have oily skin, but just recently I've been dealing with some weird issues. Sometimes when I go to certain places and spend the night in a different place, my skin will get super irritated and dry and peely all right by my eyes and under my eyes and on my cheekbones. You might not really be able to see it on camera, but it is really bad and there's some redness right here. Regardless of that, I'm going to do the same foundation routine that I always do because I still get oily, unfortunately, down here. I've just been really moisturizing this area and hopefully it'll just heal itself up. So basically all I did today was apply coconut oil all over my eye area, and I put some mascara on because I just came back from work. That being said, I'm going to apply some moisturizer. When I apply moisturizer, I use one of two moisturizers. And one of them is the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Lotion. It looks like that. And then the other one is the Jergens Ultra Healing for Extra Dry Skin Moisturizer with Vitamin 3. I use this one because it's meant for dry skin and I can kind of put it all around my dry areas. I just apply that in a little bit pea-sized amount and then I dot it over my face. Now I do have oily skin, but my foundation routine isn't necessarily geared towards that. The only thing that I really do to stop my oils from happening or messing up my makeup is apply a good powder. And if you have really oily skin, you can do a mattifying primer, but I haven't been doing that lately just because of my skin issues. And then I also get another pea-sized amount and just apply it on my neck because your neck is the first place to show signs of aging. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go into my primer. The primer that I've been using lately is the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer. I talked about this in my 2015 favorites. I really like this. It kind of really just smooths the skin. It does a little bit of mattifying. It definitely doesn't leave your skin extra dewy or anything like that. It's not like a moisturizing primer. It definitely calms and soothes the skin. It has a super strong smell though, so that's something to think about if you don't like it. It smells to me like eucalyptus. It's like medicine-y. Not terrible. Like the smell isn't bad, but it is very strong. So that's something to think about. And with this, I just take one pump. You do not need a lot to cover your whole face. So this is the pink one. I noticed that e.l.f. has come out with some new primers lately, and I want to try all of them. But I felt like this one was best suited to my skin, and it's been working pretty well for me. If you've seen my other videos, you know that my absolute favorite foundation is the Wet n Wild Coverall. For $4, you just can't beat this. I just love it. It has really decent coverage, covers up my acne and stuff, but I still have to go in with concealer. I don't know, I just really like it. I think it's really awesome and I think it's worth the money, absolutely. And then generally I'll just take some on the tip of my finger, dab it across my face. This is a fairly thick foundation, so you want to think about that regarding your skin type if you're going to use it. You're going to want to use moisturizer and moisturizing primer if you have dry skin. Because I have dry skin today, I'm going to be using a beauty blender to blend it out. Well, not a beauty blender. I'm going to use my Real Technique sponge to blend it out rather than my e.l.f. brush, which I also love for blending out foundation, but it gives you a lot more of a thicker coverage. And I'm not trying to do that over dry patches because it's going to cake up, it's not going to look good. So for a more flawless finish, I'm going in with my Real Technique sponge. This is $6, I think, really affordable. I would highly recommend it, but yeah, I'm just going to use this to blend out my foundation. And I'm really pressing it in around my dry patches because it needs more moisture there basically. So I'm going to add more water to it. This is damp. I should have mentioned that probably. This is very damp. And that's what gives it more of a flawless, thin coverage rather than the cakey sort of thing. Because you do have to be careful if you use it with a brush. It can cake up if you do too thick of a layer. And in which case you can just go over it with a sponge and sort of get rid of that cakiness. I do apply it everywhere, all under my eyes. I know some people don't apply their foundation under their eyes and stuff, but I do just to get extra coverage there. an extra sort of priming layer for my concealer. And I don't add a lot to my forehead because I don't have any problem areas there, so I just kind of leave it as is. And just make sure my face is all the same color, blended down your neck. You don't want that line kind of thing going on where it's like, my face is this color and my neck is this other color. It's not gonna look great. And you just make sure there's no lines. Make sure it's all seamlessly blended. Now again, this is gonna give you more of a dewy look before it sets, so you also want to think about that. If you have very oily skin, you may just want to go with the brush because it's going to give you a thicker coverage, kind of mattify the skin a bit better, and you don't have to worry about those dry patches. So my favorite concealer that I go in with every day pretty much, I'm going to go with the Hard Candy Glamifage Heavy Duty Concealer, which I've been using this for years and I love it. However, like the name Heavy Duty does not lie, it is very thick. So I use it to go on my under eyes because that's where I need that most coverage, you know what I mean? And this definitely has to be set because it does not dry down. So it definitely has to be set with a powder regardless of what kind of skin you have because it just says it gets sticky. It stays sticky all day. I don't know if they reformulated, but they did change the packaging. Like this is the old packaging and this is the new packaging, so it's like silver. I do have this in a couple different colors. They also expanded the shade range, which I was so happy about because I'm just like, there were only like 5 or 6 shades before, and I'm like, for concealer, you need a little bit more. So I think they have a couple more now. This is Fair. This is the second lightest shade. I believe the lightest is called Ultra Light. And then this is Light, regular, it's just light. I meant to get ultralight, but they had this in the ultralight set and they didn't have any ultralight left, so I just got this one. And this is what I use for under my eyes, and with this I'm also going to use the Beauty Blender. So basically I'm just going to use a little nozzle and apply it on the darkest part of my eyes and then sort of spread it out under. You don't want to use too much of this, a little bit goes a long way, so I'm doing a thin layer. And it's also got a little bit of orangey tone to cancel that blue out, which I like. So again, I'm going to go in with my Real Technique sponge because the concealer is just so thick. This is going to sheer it out a little bit, help it blend into the skin really well. And I just feel that it looks the best this way. Occasionally I'll do it with the brush, but it's just so thick it kind of cakes up in the brush too, which bothers me. It makes the brush not work that well after that, and then I have to wash it for like the 5th time this week. So I hope you guys can see this eye is just like, I know this is sort of covered, but it's just immediately brighter all on my inner corner. And also I do apply concealer all the way to my inner corner because I have blueness there. So if you feel like you have that, go ahead. If you feel like no, it's unnecessary, then don't bother. That's why I need such a decent coverage concealer, because that blue just like comes through in my under eyes because they're very dark. And that is hereditary, unfortunately. Oh, and I forgot to mention at the beginning of this video, this is going to be cruelty-free. So, I mean, you could probably see it in the title, but it's cruelty-free, which is something I'm sort of transitioning into this year. Well, last year and this year. I still do like own some products that aren't cruelty-free just because I don't want to just waste them and throw them away, but I'm not going to be supporting them on this channel. So everything that I'm going to show you guys is 100% cruelty-free, and most of it's affordable, which I'm really sort of proud of. I want this to be super accessible, you know what I mean? I want to find really good products that you guys would like to try or might like to hear about. It might be helpful for any of you guys that are on a budget, because I know I am. So I just get so excited and passionate about finding awesome, affordable makeup products, and like I hope you guys enjoy that too. So now I'm gonna go into setting. I'm sort of iffy about this because the thing is, like, I haven't really found a good cruelty-free powder that I really love. A couple that I've been using lately. The e.l.f. translucent mattifying powder. Now I don't see how on earth this is translucent. I mean, look at that color, and that's not translucent. Like, if you have dark skin, this is not gonna work for you. So I don't know what the thing is with that, but I've been trying it out. I just bought it recently and it's a bit cakey. And then also I've tried the e.l.f. high definition powder, which I'm not going to open because it's a huge goddamn mess. It's this white, it is translucent, however, it has flashback. When you take like flash photography, it doesn't go with this, it doesn't meld into your skin very well. It's okay, like, you know, it will set your makeup. I just found that it's a little bit cakey for what I've been trying to do lately. One that I really did like was the Wet n Wild. Wet n Wild came out with like a highlighting contour kit, and the setting powder in that was really good, but then I broke it, so I'm gonna try to get a new one of those. So I've just been trying a couple new things out. If you guys have like recommendations for like a good drugstore powder to use, that would be awesome. Today I think I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. translucent mattifying powder in this compact thing, right here. And I'm gonna go in with my beauty blender just because if I go in with this, it'll be a lot less cakey. So I'm just gonna dip it in there and kind of rub it in, and then I'll pat it onto the areas that need it. And that way it'll be less cakey, as if I were to use it with a brush, it would be more cakey. I don't know why I keep saying beauty blender, but this is a Real Technique sponge. I'm just silly. And then I put a little bit over the eyelid just to make sure my concealer doesn't crease. Okay, so basically my camera died, or my camera battery died, and I had to charge it, but all I've done is just set the makeup. I set it all right here and under the eyes, and then I do a little bit on and around the nose and then on the chin. So sometimes I tend to get a little cakiness or like a little bit weird texture on my skin, so my favorite thing to do is to go in with this Wet n Wild Photo Focus Vaporizer. Okay, the Wet n Wild Photo Focus. It's just a setting spray, so it looks kind of like, it looks like that. And oh yeah, it says okay, I just was reading the French side. Wet n Wild Photo Focus Setting Spray. And it's just this little bottle. I don't know what these little things are, but this helps to just sort of meld everything into the skin, make it look a lot less cakey, and it looks a lot better. So that's what I'm going to do, is just set it, and then it'll look kind of dewy. I really like this stuff. It seems to be working pretty well. The only thing is the smell is a little bit funky and weird. Like, I don't know how I feel about it. But it's not like it lasts, like once you spray it and then you smell it and then it's like done once it dries. So, okay, so that is the full foundation routine, and then I'm gonna go do my makeup and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I have done the rest of my makeup, and my only last step is I'm gonna go in with this again and then set the rest of my face. I like to get a lot of extra around my highlighting areas of my cheekbones. And then if you have any other cakey areas, just go in with a sponge and just blend it. And that is my full coverage flawless foundation routine. I hope you guys like it. As always, my products are listed down below. Everything that I used in the video today is linked down there. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.